Hey guys, this is Camplified and in this video we will talk about the reactions of alkenes. In our video we will take our reference molecule as ethylene, that is CH2 double bond CH2. Remember that in our video all the reactions which we are carrying out are those reactions where reactant is ethylene, but these reactions can be applied to higher alkenes also, right? So let's start without wasting time. The first reaction is oxidation by combustion. What we are doing is we are just heating ethylene we are burning ethylene in oxygen, and what you are going to get is carbon dioxide and water. This is the basic reaction. Second reaction is when ethylene is treated with hydrogen in presence of nickel as catalyst. This is a reduction reaction and the double bond will be changed to single bond and you will get ethane. Next, third reaction, when ethylene undergoes addition reaction by halogens, that is X2, the double bond breaks and each halogen gets attached to individual carbon, so you will get a dihalide. Remember, in place of X you can take chlorine, bromine and iodine. Also remember that fluorine is not there, which means fluorine will not give addition reaction and form ethylene dihalide. Now you can see that the halogens are attached to neighboring carbons. This kind of molecule also goes by the name Wick dihalide. So you can remember this also. So when ethylene is treated with halogen, it gives dihalide. In our case we are getting ethylene dihalide. We can apply this reaction to higher alkenes also. Now look at the fourth reaction. This reaction is little bit necessary or important because it follows a certain rule. First, when ethylene is treated with halogen acid like HCl, HBr, HI, you get ethyl halide. Now this reaction is simple. Why? Because ethylene is a symmetrical molecule. But if there is an alkene which is unsymmetrical in nature, like propene, now this is an unsymmetrical alkene because double bond is present on one corner. Now when this kind of case occur, you have to follow Markovnikov rule. Markovnikov rule will be followed, and in halogen acid, hydrogen will always have a positive charge and halogen will have a negative charge. So according to Markovnikov rule, positive part of the reagent will be attached to that carbon that have higher number of hydrogen. Now you can see that in this molecular formula, in the molecular formula of propene, this carbon consists of 2 hydrogens. So hydrogen will be attached here, double bond will vanish, and the negative part, that is X, will be attached to the middle carbon. That's how you reach to your final product in case of unsymmetrical alkene, right? I hope you understood. Just try to read Markovnikov rule. Now next, fifth reaction, when ethylene is treated with concentrated H2SO4, we get ethyl hydrogen sulfate. How are we getting this? Now H2SO4 is a concentrated acid. It will provide you with H plus and HSO4 minus, right? Now since our reactant is ethylene, you can attach the positive part to any carbon, the negative part will take the other carbon. But in case of unsymmetrical alkene, like the previous case, like the case of propene, the positive part will go to that carbon which have higher number of hydrogens, the double bond will vanish and the negative part will get attached to the other carbon. That's how you get the product in case of unsymmetrical alkene. So these are the two kinds that you should remember. Now next is when ethylene is treated with ozone. When ethylene is treated with ozone, you get ethyl ozonide. Upon treating it with hydrogen peroxide and zinc as catalyst, you get formaldehyde. You will get 2 molecules of formaldehyde. The bond breaking will take place from this place, right? So both the carbon will form formaldehyde. This is the 6th reaction. Let's move to the next. Now take a look at the 7th and 8th reaction together. In both the cases, our reactant is ethylene, our reagent is KMnO4, but the conditions are different. In first case, alkaline nature is there, alkaline medium is there, and the second case, acidic medium is there. Now let's take a look at the first case. Whenever there is alkaline KMnO4, alkaline or neutral, you can also use neutral. Sometimes neutral will also be there. In case of alkaline or neutral KMnO4 solution, the double bond will break into single bond and both the carbon will get alcohol group and you will get diol. In our case, we are getting ethylene glycol. as our product. But in case of acidic KMnO4, as soon as you see this acidic KMnO4, it will break double bond completely and it will give you formic acid. Remember, in alkaline medium or neutral medium, this double bond will not break. But in acidic medium, the double bond will break and you will get formic acid as your final product. So these are the two reactants which differ only by the condition of alkaline medium or acidic medium. So remember these two conditions. Next, the ninth reaction is the reaction of ethylene with HOCl. HOCl is hypochlorous acid. Now the final product is ethylene chlorohydrin. Now how we are getting OH group on one carbon and chlorine group on one carbon? If you look closely, in this case, oxygen is in between hydrogen and chlorine. Oxygen is more electronegative, so oxygen will have a negative charge, and chlorine in this case will take a positive charge. So when they dissociate, chlorine will be dissociated as Cl plus ion and OH minus ion will be dissociated on the other side, and these two will occupy the position on two different carbons. Now this is the case of ethylene. If you are talking about an unsymmetrical alkene like propene, I am repeating this because it is important. The positive part will attach to that carbon that have higher number of hydrogen. This carbon had two hydrogens, so chlorine will be placed here and OH will be placed here. Follow Markovnikov rule, right? That's how you reach the product in case of unsymmetrical alkenes. Look at the 10th reaction. Now in this reaction, ethylene is treated with carbon monoxide plus H2. This combination is known by the name water gas. So when ethylene is treated with water gas, you are going to get aldehyde, that is propanol, right? Let's move to the next. The 11th reaction is an interesting case because in all these cases we have B2H6. B2H6 goes by the name diborane. Now why this is interesting? Because we are treating ethylene with diborane, but in reality the ethylene is reacting with BH3. That is our borane. Ethylene is reacting with borane and then it will give an intermediate which when react with, there are different conditions. First one is H2O2 in basic medium, second is H2O2 in acidic medium, and third is NH4Cl in basic medium. These are the three conditions in which the intermediate will react with these three things, right? Now what will be the intermediate? The intermediate will be CH3, CH2, thrice B, trialkyl borane. Now the question is how we are getting this intermediate. Try to focus for some time. This is our borane, BH3. Now boron is acting as a Lewis acid in this particular case. It has an empty orbital. This empty orbital will take over the pi bond electrons. Now the pi bond electrons have attached has gone to boron. So one of the carbon will get attached itself to boron. Now one of the hydrogen out of three will go to the other carbon. So you will get, in the first step you will get CH3, CH2 and B, H2. Now similarly, still boron has three bonds. It is still acting as a Lewis acid. Next, in the next case, second molecule of ethylene will give the double bond, the pi bond electrons to boron, and the hydrogen will be removed and will go to the second carbon, giving CH3, CH2 whole twice BH. In the third case, third molecule of ethylene will give the pi electrons to boron and the third hydrogen will go to the second carbon and you will get trialkyl borane. That's how you get the intermediate. Now after you get this intermediate so formed will react with the second condition given in all the three reactions to give you the different products. First one is when this intermediate is treated with hydrogen peroxide in basic medium, you will get ethanol. Second, in the second reaction, when hydrogen peroxide is treated with this intermediate in acidic medium, you will get ethane. And the third one is ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride react in presence of NaOH will give ethylamine. So these are the three reactions that you can see by using BH3 or B2H6, right? Let's move to the next. This is our last reaction. When ethylene undergoes polymerization, it gives polythene. The polythene bags that you use in your daily life, that is your polythene. So when ethylene undergoes polymerization, you get polythene. This was the final reaction, basic reaction. So this will be it for today's video. I hope you like it. Thank you very much for watching.